Welcome to the Inspiring Tech Leaders podcast with me, Dave Roberts. This is the podcast that talks with tech leaders from across the industry, exploring their insights, sharing their experiences, and offering valuable advice to technology professionals. The podcast also explores technology innovations and the evolving tech landscape, providing listeners with actionable guidance and inspiration. In today's podcast, I'm taking a closer look at the recent news story involving a state-sponsored cyber espionage campaign. What makes it especially alarming is how autonomous the AI actually was, which may be a warning sign for a very real future. In mid-September 2025, Anthropic detected an attack. According to their blog post, a Chinese government-backed hacker group had manipulated their AI, Claude code, to launch cyber intrusions against organizations around the world. These weren't simple phishing attacks. Anthropic claims that the majority of the attacks were executed without human oversight. In other words, Claude wasn't just assisting, it was acting largely autonomously. Anthropic described it as the first documented case of a cyber attack largely executed without human intervention at scale. Some intrusions succeeded, financially linked firms and government agencies were targeted, and Anthropic says hackers accessed internal data. But the AI also made mistakes, as Claude hallucinated, invented facts about targets, or claimed it had discovered information that was actually publicly available. So, how did the hackers pull this off? Anthropic reports that hackers bypassed Claude's safety guardrails by tricking it into role-playing. They told Claude to act like an employee of a legitimate cybersecurity firm carrying out tests. Under this pretense, Claude provided instructions to perform reconnaissance, write exploit code, and move laterally in the target networks. Because Claude was being played as a benign security tool, it didn't raise its own internal alarms in the way that you might expect. The bad actors essentially dressed their malicious code commands in a cloak of legitimacy. And because Claude was doing most of the work, this was not just a speed up of manual hacking. It was a qualitative leap in scale, in automation, and in reduced human labor. Unsurprisingly, experts are sounding the alarm. Some see this as a stark demonstration of how AI systems are evolving, not just to assist humans, but to operate independently in high-stakes cyber operations. This incident demonstrates why AI regulation needs to become a national priority. AI systems now have the capability to automatically perform tasks that historically required highly skilled human attackers. Experts in the industry are warning that companies may be too ready to adopt complex, poorly understood AI tools, which is exposing them to risks because they don't fully grasp how these systems can be manipulated. Society as a whole needs to be prepared for a rapidly shifting landscape where AI and cyber capabilities merge. So what does this incident mean more broadly? This isn't just about productivity or customer service. AI models are increasingly powerful, and if misused, they can become weapons. We see how a tool built for benign development like Claude code can be twisted into a vector for espionage. If attacks can be automated, that lowers the skills needed to launch complex operations. Even less sophisticated actors or state-backed groups with limited hands-on manpower might be empowered. This is why AI regulation is critical to help control the use of technology with appropriate guardrails. Anthropic's transparency in disclosing this is significant, but some experts worry that such disclosures could also be a PR play, highlighting the risk while positioning themselves as a responsible gatekeeper. Either way, it raises questions about accountability, responsibility, and how AI companies manage misuse. Traditional cyber defense assumes human attackers. Now defenders must also think in terms of AI-managed threat agents. That changes how we simulate attacks, how we defend, and how we audit AI systems. So, what now? Here are some takeaways and potential steps forward. Regulators should accelerate work on AI safety frameworks. This incident underscores the urgency not just around bias or disinformation, but national security. AI companies must strengthen their guardrails. It's not enough to build safe systems. They need to be stress tested, especially against misuse like role-playing, social engineering, and agentic hijacking. Cybersecurity teams in organizations must assume that future attackers may not be human. Red teaming exercises should simulate AI-driven attacks, not just conventional ones. Transparency and threat sharing should be improved. Anthropic has revealed this instant, but we need more cross-industry collaboration to understand the full picture. Awareness and education for executives, policymakers, and technologists alike need to grasp that AI isn't just a tool for automation, it can also be a vector for risk. Agentic AI systems have substantially lowered the barrier to entry for sophisticated cyber attacks, enabling less experienced and less resourced threat actors to perform large-scale operations. These AI systems can efficiently execute the work of entire teams of experienced hackers, including analyzing target systems, producing exploit code, and scanning vast data sets of stolen information, with significantly less human involvement than previous vibe hacking operations. Security teams must acknowledge this fundamental shift and actively experiment with applying AI for defense in areas like SOC automation, threat detection, vulnerability assessment, and incident response. This must be coupled with continued investment in safeguards across AI platforms, improved detection methods, and stronger industry threat sharing to manage the proliferation of these new attack techniques. So, to wrap up, Anthropic's disclosure isn't just a cyber scare, it could be a turning point. We are entering an age where AI doesn't just assist us, it acts. And when attackers leverage that, the potential impact is profound. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for tuning into the Inspiring Tech Leaders podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your network. You can find more insights, show notes, and resources at www.inspiringtechleaders.com. Head over to the social media channels. You can find Inspiring Tech Leaders on X, Instagram, Inspo, and TikTok. Let me know your thoughts on the topic. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in tech.